Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. Happy New Year 2023. First video of the year. Hoping to do more full tank reviews. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and enjoy more reviews coming this year. This is actually week 3 of the auctions that started late December 2022, now in the first week of 23. And unfortunately, the VK9001P probably sold out on day 1. So if you were looking for that tank, you've already missed your chance. I'm sure the price was probably pretty high. I didn't look on the first day, doing real life activities instead. So anyway, we're a couple days in, the prices just dropped, and we'll run through the remaining tanks and I'll talk about their play style and a good price point to jump in and try to get the tank. So starting off with the STG Soviet medium tank at tier 8. I find this a difficult tank to play. It does have good mobility, but you'll see there from the picture, rear mounted turret and a lack of gun depression and a very low profile as well. Make this a tough tank to play in your typical spots. So you kind of have to find some new spots on these maps in order to get this tank to play well. It does have a big gun, more in line with the Chimera, so keep that in mind as well. Currently at 5,700 for a tier 8 with 3,600 left. I say if you can wait the day out and get this for 5,000 or below, it's a good price for the tank itself, but just keep in mind the warning that it is a little bit of a difficult tank to play. The T-4485 Soviet tier 7 medium tank. This is just a good all-around tank in my opinion. Would call it similar to some of the American medium tanks in that it does everything pretty well. It actually has some good brawling capabilities one-on-one. And again, with 3,500 left, if you can get this for 3,000 or below, 2,500, I think you'd be happy with that price. But keep in mind, tier 7. Moving on to the 121B, the Chinese tier 10 medium tank. It's got good mobility, and that is probably the main positive I can talk about. The characteristics, it does have the Chinese gun accuracy. It does suffer from pen issues, especially against heavies. So I would not pay more than 10,000 gold for this tank. So you're going to have to wait a couple more days until this tank is at a price point where I would even consider recommending it. SKODA T27 heavy tank tier 8 EU nation, 3-shell autoloader. It has decent mobility for a heavy tank and 2 or 1.5 seconds per shell, 3 shells as I mentioned. So in 3 seconds you can get your full clip out and do about 600 damage. Does have that long reload time. So you have to be good at playing autoloaders and know how to manage your shells in that, when to force a reload, when to just hold on to the last shell, etc. But it's again a tier 8. So anytime you can get a tier 8 tank of this quality, in my opinion, for 7,000 or under, I think you'll be happy with that price as well. One of the tanks that's currently in there right now that I don't even mind the price of at the moment, for 7,000 gold, the Centurion Mk5. This tank has great mobility. It has a decent turret profile, armor profile for being a medium tank. Yes, it does have the British low damage, high firing gun issues, meaning you have to be on target more frequently. I don't seem to feel that it has too much difficulty with pen. So an all-around decent tank in my opinion, and I wouldn't say that it's a bad price at 7,000. There's still about 3,000 left, so I'm sure you can wait the day out and get this for at least 65, if not get it to 6,000 gold, which would be a good price for that tank. The AMX 105 French Tier 8 tank destroyer. I actually play this tank really well. Not sure exactly why. I think I'm currently sitting at a 71% win rate in the tank. It has that nice mobility. It has a little bit of the trollish armor from that front slopes, and it has an accurate gun for a tank destroyer, allowing it to be both a sniper and kind of a end of game brawling type tank with some decent damage per minute numbers. Tier 8 again, 6,250. You know, if you can get this for 55, and then I guess the next drop will be below that, you know, I would certainly keep an eye on. If you could get this below 5,000, you'll be very happy with this tank if you don't mind playing tank destroyers. The Emil 1951, I've done a review on this, so check it out. It has less armor than you would expect from its, I guess, brother of the same Tier 8 heavy tank. This has got the auto loader and decent mobility, but it just does not have the armor that you would expect from the Tech Tree tank. So keep that in mind, but it does have better pen and maneuverability as well. 2,800 left. Hold out the day. Don't buy this for anything more than 6,700, and I think you'll be happy with that tank. The Titan 54D, not a fan of this tank. The next two tanks have active armor in the sense that the Titan 54D here is a Tier 8 medium tank, and it's actually got a consumable that you use that increases kind of the angle of the pike nose here and brings some armor around to the front of the turret. And it lasts for however long that consumable lasts, and then it goes back to its normal condition. And then if you can use that consumable again later in the game. So that gives it a uniqueness. And, you know, it's not that far off from the T54 as far as playstyle and capabilities, but I just feel there's kind of a few tanks like that. So I wouldn't spend 7,500 gold on it. I would certainly let this drop. If you could get this for 6,500 gold or below, it would be a decent price. The next one is the Titan H and D Tier 7. And these are both hybrid nation tanks. The uniqueness on this tank is that once your hit points go below 50%, then the armor profile changes. And again, you've got some armor that comes around the front of the turret, and this little piece at the front folds up, gives you a better armor profile. Again, kind of unique. But it is a Tier 7. Keep that in mind. I'd probably try to get this at 5,000 or below if you're interested. But both of these tanks, you know, I have them, and I just don't play them that frequently. I guess the gimmick of the armor just isn't enough to get me to play the tank frequently. And then, of course, everyone knows the Progetto. This tank has been for sale, given away for free this past year. It is by far and away one of the top 2 or 3 Tier 8 medium tanks out there because it has an active reloading tank, meaning that you don't have to make the decision to force a reload. It's always putting a new shell in. And it just has the great mobility. It's got good accuracy, good pen, all around top of the line tank. So if you don't already have it, I highly recommend it be one of the tanks in your garage. But it's hard to put, say, 7,750 gold is worth it when this tank has been given away for free this past year. Who knows what 2023 will hold with events from Wargaming. But I just have a hard time saying, spend 7,000 gold on this tank. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you don't already have it, but just be aware that some people got this tank for free last year. So keep that in mind. I got to get playing some games so I can get some reviews out for you guys, but we're hoping for an exciting 2023. And of course, remember to hit that subscribe button and get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.